Greetings, everyone. This is Terry Naturally with another edition of Terry Talks Nutrition. We're here every weekend, same time, same station, all of the above. If you're here now, just come on back. And if you don't come back, we're going to miss you. We need you here. And I'm not going to bug you. I'm not going to tell you it's your responsibility to stay healthy. By changing your diet, by having some form of exercise, by sleeping better, 7 to 9 hours of sleep. Don't try to cut it short. That's how we build our energy level. That's how we recharge our batteries. That's how we become healthier. Oh, I wasn't going to bug you, but I am bugging you. Why? Because I do really want you healthy. I know the difference. I felt the difference personally. I know what it was like to be unhealthy, grumpy, crabby, obnoxious, belligerent, all of the above. So I know what it's like. And when you feel good, it makes so much difference. Your whole personality changes when you feel healthy and positive. It's all up to us. But I'm not going to bug you too much. I have a lot on the agenda today. We're going to be talking about grape seed extract and curcumin for cancer and for other chronic diseases. We're talking about some more bad news. But you know, when you talk about bad news, then you know it's bad, and I'm going to tell you how to make it good. We'll talk about testosterone levels and how it affects the risk of cancer. And is melatonin really safe for kids? What is prediabetes? 100 million people right now are classified as pre-diabetics, and they don't know it. And there's 40 million that are classified having type 2 diabetes. It's a pandemic, and you don't need to have it. It's reversible. It's optional. It's not yours. You accepted it as yours. You listen to the doctor saying, oh, you're a diabetic. No, you're not a diabetic. Just because someone says you're diabetic, you're not. You can reverse it. You can change it. It's optional. You can decide to have it or decide not to have it. Tired all the time? Well, B vitamins can be the solution. And you know what? Unfortunately, young adults today are aging faster than ever. And the herb of the day, one of my favorites, rhodiola, a very fantastic herb, which I'll explain more later. But right now, let's head into this right now to talk about nature's most powerful combination, grape seed extract and curcumin. No matter what your health concern is, curcumin and grapeseed extract is the best solution ever. For what? Cancer, heart disease, fatty liver disease, dementia, autoimmune diseases, diabetes, arthritis, pain, inflammation, menopause, osteoporosis, PBH, fibromyalgia, IBS, lung disease, depression. Scientific studies have been done on most of these conditions. Just alone on curcumin, there have been 30,000 studies and about 20,000 studies on grapeseed extract. Very scientifically proven. Now, yes, proven in the laboratory. proven in animal studies. Some of these conditions are not allowed to be studied on humans. But we need to have human studies. But all drugs, synthetic drugs, start with laboratory studies, animal studies, and then graduate up to human studies. So if we can use something that's natural, with little or no side effects, no adverse events, we have nothing to lose. If you try it and you get some results, or you get great results, or maybe you don't get any results, it's not going to hurt you. It's time to try it. It's so important to make an attempt to use a natural alternative as a solution or to augment your drug therapy. So what makes curcumin and grapeseed extract so effective for so many different conditions? You know, a drug is one molecule. So it has one molecular target, one pathway. So there's regulations by the FDA that drugs have to have so much research proving that they work. And so it costs about $1.5 billion to make a drug. So if you had 3 or 4 drugs together, or molecules together, you'd have to do it 3 or 4 times more than that. So it might last 50 years for all the research and have billions and billions of dollars. So they allowed one drug to be one molecule. But when you have grapeseed extract and curcumin, you have hundreds, if not thousands, of molecules that work on a variety of pathways all at one time. Curcumin and grapeseed have hundreds and hundreds of molecules affecting inflammation, neutralizing free radicals, increasing glutathione, normalizing immune cell function, reducing blood sugar levels, and increasing circulation. And one and most of all, stop cancer cell formation and spreading. Good research that shows that natural products, well-studied products, high-quality products, don't look for the discounted products unless you know the product is a superior product, high quality, and it may be just on a special. Then buy it, save money. But don't buy discounted products that you have no idea the quality of the products, especially online. Amazon does not care what they sell. They care what you say about a product. You can't say cures cancer on Amazon. They won't let you do it. If you're selling a product, you have to have the right claims that are within the alternative natural product industry. But they don't care what's in the product. They don't analyze products. They don't assure products are safe. They don't assure products aren't spiked with drugs. So you're taking a chance. When you buy a discounted product that you know nothing about, but you know an ingredient, but what is the ingredient? What does it do? Has it been studied? Or is it spiked with a drug or synthetic compounds? Someday someone's going to die from a product that's sold off Amazon. It hasn't happened, but they're leaving themselves up to a very high risk. And you take a very high risk by buying those products. If you know a very, very good company and they're running a special and you can buy it less, buy it. It's okay. But if you don't know the product, you can't buy just turmeric. You can't buy just curcumin from an unknown company. How do you know what's in it? You're taking a big risk. Not worth it. Now here's some new data on OPCs from grapeseed extract. This is some really good science backed by researchers that compared the effects of OPCs from grape seed combined with standard anti-cancer drugs in an animal model of drug-resistant colon cancer. These are done on tumors, human tumors, that are grafted to the mice or the rats. And the results. Researchers found that OPCs reduced overactive pathways associated with the development of drug resistance. A lot of drugs have a resistance to treating tumors. They don't work. Or they get to a point where they don't work and the drug has to be increased. So in animal models, OPC on its own, by itself, reduced tumor size by 70%. 70% on its own. But by combining OPCs with the anti-cancer drugs approved, results even more, up to 87% reduction in tumor size. I know a lot of doctors who are treating cancer patients with chemotherapy. They say, don't take any natural products. And they say that because they have no idea what a natural product will do to a drug. And they're reliable for their treatments. But in all the natural product research, all the natural products made the drug less toxic, less damaging to the liver and the brain cells, and improved a better treatment at a smaller, lesser dosage. I have not seen one scientific study with a natural product that had any complications with the chemotherapy. But tell your doctor. Always work with your doctor. You don't want to leave the doctor out of the equation. Whether you do or you don't, that's your decision. But sometimes it's good for your doctor to know what you're taking. So the conclusion of this research on OPCs from grapeseed extract made cancer drugs more effective in all lines of cancer cells that have developed resistance to treatment, and made the drug more effective at a lesser dosage. So you're getting more effects with less toxicity. So what should you know about grapeseed extract and curcumin that you're getting the right thing? OPC. That's just the abbreviation for oligomeric proanthocyanins. Much, much easier to say, OPC. And they are the key compounds in grapeseed extract. They have a very low molecular weight. So that means they're better absorbed, easier absorbed. And they have significant health benefits. I love grapeseed extract. A couple of things that make it even more effective than curcumin. Grapeseed extract is water soluble. So it's much easier to be absorbed systemically in the bloodstream. Curcumin is very, very difficult to be absorbed because it's fat soluble. It does not absorb easily through the lining of the intestinal tract. There are some that are more effective, and the curcumin that I know that is more effective is combined with turmeric essential oils that increases the absorption of curcumin by 700%. A lot of doctors like curcumin for colon cancer because it's not absorbed. So a lot of it stays in the colon, having a greater effect on colon cancer. But grapeseed extract is water soluble, so it flows throughout the entire body. So look for grapeseed extract that is standardized for the content of the OPCs, like 90% or 80%. The one that I like is 90% polyphenols and 80% OPC. And curcumin is the key compound in turmeric. Turmeric has very, very small amount of curcumin. It's a great spice, and I love it on all my food. But it's not the medicinal effect. Curcumin is the medicinal compound found in turmeric, in the root of the plant. It's anti-inflammatory, as powerful as a steroid. Very, very effective as anti-inflammatory. And most all diseases have a function of inflammation, where there is more inflammation in the body that causes so much damage. It's a very powerful antioxidant, anti-cancer. There is almost nothing that curcumin can't do. So look for an extract standard for curcuminoids, including curcumin. There are 3 curcuminoids in curcumin. Curcumin is the main one, not just dried turmeric powder. There is so much on the market that's not standardized, that's not legitimate, that is spiked, that they're using synthetic curcumin. Can you imagine that? Synthetic curcumin. And nobody knows it's there. There's only 2 or 3 places in the world that have the equipment that can diagnose and analyze whether or not it is synthetic or natural. There's one site in Georgia and Japan that I know for sure. And here's the dosage that I would recommend. Like 575 milligrams of curcumin, extracted from the rhizome or the root of the plant. And make sure it's enhanced to boost the absorption with turmeric essential oils, and standardized for the curcuminoid complex of the 3 known curcuminoids. And the French grapeseed extract, standardized to contain 99% polyphenols and 80% of the OPCs. Turmeric is one of the most powerful. Unfortunately, it's only powerful when it's extracted for the curcumin, not just by itself. But it also adds turmeric essential oils. So there's 3 ingredients in the combination I use: curcumin, French grapeseed extract, and turmeric essential oils. And it's extracted by supercritical CO2 extracts. That means there's no impurities, no heavy metals, no toxic compounds. It's great technology and standardized to contain at least 60% of the total tumerones that are found in the turmeric oil. Take once or twice daily for prevention of cancer, dementia, heart disease, and diabetes. And you can double that dosage if required or necessary, or you desire to. There's no side effects known for this combination. You got 3 natural ingredients. Curcumin, blended with turmeric essential oils to boost the absorption of the curcumin. French grapeseed extract. And then also, additionally, turmeric essential oils that are standardized for the tumerones. Not a tumor. These are compounds from turmeric. It's a combination that is great for most any condition imaginable. These 2 compounds is the gold standard for supporting every unhealthy condition you can imagine. Now that's all good news. I take mine every day. I wouldn't want to be without it. not one single day. But I do have bad news for you. But every time you have bad news, there's ways of improving it to make it good again. But this is bad news on ultra-processed foods. It isn't just what is or isn't in ultra-processed foods. Everyone should know by now that ultra-processed foods produced using industrial manufacturing techniques, not whole food, not natural food, man-made food in a factory, not gone out in the field and picked a crop, not harvested a crop, but made it in a laboratory, in test tubes first, with no whole foods available and little or no nutrients, are bad for you. Our body functions on natural components like polyphenols, flavonols, flavonoids, vitamins, minerals. All these natural components should be provided by the food we eat. And when you're eating ultra-processed foods, there's no vitamins and minerals, there's no polyphenols, there's no natural compounds. You're eating man-made food. Primarily sugar, white flour, chemicals, seed oil. It's a joke. Loaded with calories and stripped of all nutrients because they don't add the nutrients, they don't include any nutrients. Now, in a new study, researchers found it isn't just the food itself. Processing involved in manufacturing changes food cellular structures and eliminates important nutrients, plus chemical additives. And chemicals in the packaging are also damaging to health. They found that every 10% increase in calories from ultra-processed foods lead people to a higher body weight, worse blood sugar levels, and control, high blood pressure, also more likely to have conditions such as diabetes, metabolic syndrome, and cancer, and had a slightly higher risk of dying during the study period. In the U.S., ultra-processed foods make up 50% of daily calories for adults, and sad to say, even more for kids. 60% of daily calories for kids come from ultra-processed foods. We're giving our kids nothing but, I don't know what to call it, but it's not food. We're filling them up with ultra-processed, manufactured, man-made manufactured foods. Not whole foods, not good animal proteins or high-quality proteins of beef, bison, and all the good animal proteins. Seafoods, could be salmon, sardines. A lot of good foods we can feed our kids to be healthy and provide them with high density, filled with nutrients. All the vitamins and minerals and the necessary food factors to be healthy. We're feeding them nothing but calories, sugar, white flour, seed oils, all bad foods that can't even be called as foods. They're not foods. But that's what makes up all of our ultra-processed foods. Something that we can't maintain a healthy body, healthy condition. Our diet is destroying our health. The current diet. Change your diet to change your health. That's the biggest factor you can keep in mind. Switch to high-quality proteins, beef, seafoods, all the good chicken, all the good animal proteins. A high-fat diet. No, you won't gain weight on fat. You're gaining all the weight on sugar and carbohydrates. You're destroying your health. Stop it. So we need to take a break here. I'm not going anywhere, and I hope you don't either. And if you have to go away, have a fantastic, wonderful, beautiful day. Keep in mind, it's your health. You're in charge. You can change it if you want to. And some people just won't give up the bad foods. I'm sorry for you. You can have all the aches and pains and inflammation and all the things that go with eating bad foods. So I'll be back in just a few seconds. Don't go away. This is Terry Naturally with Terry Talks Nutrition. Back right after this. And welcome back, my friends. This is Terry Naturally with our second portion of the Terry Talks Nutrition Hour. We're here to share information with you to make you healthier. It's our choice, right? We can eat what we want. We can eat dirt, dust, crap, whatever you want. And we are. The American diet is one of the most unhealthiest diets in the world. How do you expect your car to run on fuel that it was not intended to use to run your car? The American diet is made up of foods. I can't even call them foods. Made up of something that's loaded with calories, and we know what it is. Lots of sugar, lots of refined carbohydrates, a lot of seed oil, and they flavor that with a variety of flavors, synthetic flavors, preservatives. I don't even know why you need to use preservatives because there's nothing there that would ever spoil in 1,000 years. So it's interesting that we would think that our body would run and function in good health with foods that have nothing but calories. No vitamins, no nutrients, no minerals, no polyphenols, no flavonoids, no flavonols. All these natural nutrients are the fuels that our body needs to function. And we have cut them out if you're on the American diet. The American diet is known as SAD, Standard American Diet. You need more than that. And if you're not getting what you need, you're going to suffer. You're going to have aches and pains, inflammation, heart disease, type 2 diabetes, high blood pressure, obesity, excessive weight gain, fatty liver disease, dementia. All these conditions are related to our diet and related to the bad diet that's manufactured in a laboratory. So let's go on with testosterone. Testosterone levels and the cancer risk. Something that we need to address. Low testosterone. Low equals higher cancer risk. And many doctors do not want men to increase their testosterone levels because they think that equals disease, cancer. But you know what? When our testosterone level drops, as men get into their 60s and 70s, that's when they have prostate cancer. Think about that. You can't increase the risk of cancer if you have a healthy level of testosterone. And this was just proven by researchers in Australia. They analyzed the data on testosterone levels in over 12,000 men who had been followed for at least 5 years. They wanted to know if low testosterone levels increased or decreased development of cancer later in life. Men with the lowest testosterone levels were 18% more likely to die of cancer. Now, many doctors will not prescribe testosterone for men because they think it causes cancer. but we see all the cancer increased later in life in men who have low testosterone levels. Normal testosterone levels in young men are 10 to 30 nanomoles per liter. Men whose testosterone was only 8.6 I should say, per liter or less had the highest risk of cancer as they aged. Keep your testosterone level up. Take a testosterone supplement or have your doctor prescribe for you testosterone. And male testosterone levels have been declining for decades. Men today have lower testosterone levels compared to men of the same age a generation ago. Boy, our diet, our lifestyle, our choices are all tied into how we are declining in health over the last generation or several decades. 25% decline lower in testosterone levels in young men under the age of 40 have dropped over a 17-year period. And the best-known study published in 2007 found that a 60-year-old man in 2004 had testosterone levels 17% lower than a 60-year-old in 1987. So the average testosterone drop per year is about 1%, starting at the age of 30. So it's going lower and lower and lower, and we have more cancer as we get older, particularly prostate cancer. The doctors have it all backwards. The higher the testosterone level that we have, the less cancer we will have, and lower the risk of cancer. So how do we boost testosterone? Nutrients. Here's the dosage I recommend. A combination of vitamin B6, more commonly known as pyridoxal 5-phosphate, zinc, ashwagandha, DIM, D-I-M, DHEA, boron. This is a combination of nutrients that boost the level of testosterone. That's not bad, that's good. That's what you need. You want a higher level of testosterone. Don't lower it. It improves your attitude, how positive you are, the density of your bones. There's so many good things about testosterone. And ashwagandha has been shown to increase testosterone levels by up to 33% in men. It does not do this in women. The hormone, I love DHEA. It's a natural steroid from the adrenal glands. And this DHEA raises testosterone. A single dose of DHEA increased levels of free testosterone in middle-aged men by 23%. Combine DHEA with boron, another 28% increase in testosterone after 1 week. And DIM balances testosterone. DIM frees bound testosterone. Based on a clinical study, male patients undergoing treatment for prostate cancer treated with DIM saw a 38% increase in testosterone levels. A combination like this can boost your level, men, not women. It doesn't work in women. You might get a mild but nowhere near these levels. A 38% increase in testosterone levels with them. So think about this. Ashwagandha increases testosterone by 33%. DHEA increases by 23%. Boron by 28%. DIM by 38%. P5P, the biologically active form of vitamin B6. Low vitamin B6 levels have been linked to low testosterone and increased estrogen levels in an animal model. And zinc increases free testosterone levels, especially effective for men who already have low zinc levels. This is a formulation that I think is excellent for men who want to boost their ability for well-being, for a great attitude, for being positive, for more dense bones, just healthier overall. This is a good feel hormone combination. So there are no side effects, no adverse events. Healthy to take for men throughout their ages. Now, I love melatonin, another one that I think is a phenomenal hormone. It's one of the most powerful anti-inflammatories, the most powerful antioxidant. Very, very few side effects. It may make you groggy in the morning, or maybe you'll dream vivid dreams. I love the dreams. They're in color, they're vivid, they have a great sense of meaning. But what about kids? Well, a few years ago, some misleading stories about melatonin overdose, or worse, melatonin poisoning in kids made headlines. This is absolutely garbage. Baloney. But melatonin is the most widely studied sleep aid in children. There are thousands and thousands and thousands of studies on melatonin. Now the question is melatonin use in kids dangerous? Scientific data says absolutely no. For example, in a study using melatonin as an add-on treatment for seizures in infants ages 4 to 11 months, not years, 4 to 11 months, the babies had better sleep, fewer seizures than babies who were not given melatonin, and no side effects, no adverse effects or events. Very, very safe for babies through children and adults. You just have to find the right dosage. And the most critical thing I found in researching melatonin is when should you take it? If you're taking a supplement, when should you take it? Take it at sunset. You know, as cavemen did not have lighting, so they didn't have to shut a light off or turn a light on. When dark came over the earth, they went to bed. So when it gets dark, that's when melatonin is excreted from the pineal gland in the brain. That's the biggest factor. Don't take it an hour before bedtime. Some people go to bed at 8 o'clock, some people go to bed at midnight. That's not the way the body works. The body doesn't release melatonin at several different times in the night, or for several different people through the night. It's the timing issue is so important. I can't get that over in a bigger issue. And the next is quality, which is a huge issue. In a study of 25 melatonin gummy products, oh, I hate gummy products, nothing but gelatin and sugar and flavor. People love them because it's candy. Now, out of 25 melatonin gummy products, 22 of them did not meet their label claims for melatonin content. They're not stable, first of all. One product had 0 melatonin, but did test positive for CBD. Get that. Another of the products had more than triple the amount of melatonin listed on the label. Gummies are not stable. They're not real supplements. People love them because they love the taste, and they're getting some sugar and some gelatin. It's not a supplement. It's not a health-promoting product. And the best thing to do, choose melatonin from a trustworthy company, a reputable company. Visit your local health food store for guidance if you aren't sure. Don't buy off Amazon. They don't give you any advice. You can't go back and talk to them. You can't ask questions. You go to a health food store and they'll spend time with you to help you understand why you're taking something or how to take something. Now here's the dosage that I recommend starting with adults. Somewhere between 5 and 10 milligrams at sundown, not an hour or two before bedtime. It doesn't work. If you want to, hey, it's your game. But that's how the body works. The body releases the naturally produced melatonin in the body when it gets dark. As it gets dark, that's when the pineal gland in the brain releases melatonin. Not an hour or two before bedtime. It's a natural process. So it doesn't work. That's why a lot of people don't get the best results with melatonin, because they're not taking it at the right time or the right level. Now, everybody is different, but I love melatonin. If you can't get a good night's sleep with melatonin, there is something you're not doing right. So work out a little bit, experiment a little bit, try different levels, try lower, higher. There's no side effects. It's absolutely non-toxic. You could eat a pound of it and nothing will happen. And this is all based on research. Now, there's 100 million people that are pre-diabetics, 40 million people that are type 2 diabetics. So 100 million people are coming up that will soon become type 2 diabetics. Pre-diabetics mean your blood sugar level is high, but technically not high enough to be considered type 2 diabetics. But you're right there. You're on the edge. You just haven't fallen over the edge. You're teeter-totting on the edge of the cliff. Some healthcare practitioners feel that any increase causing blood sugar levels higher than normal should be treated as diabetics. The drug companies like that too. Others feel that pre-diabetics is not an urgent situation, but should be monitored carefully. Well, however, within 5 years, about 30% of the people with pre-diabetes will have blood sugar levels high enough to reach type 2 diabetes. And think about it. What do you think causes diabetes? A high blood sugar level. Well, where does the sugar come from? Well, it comes from what we are eating. We don't need sugar in our body. We don't need all the carbohydrates in our diet. There is no necessary carbohydrate. So over the long term, if no action is taken, think about this, 70% of people with prediabetes will eventually become diagnosed as type 2 diabetics. Boy, the drug companies love this. They got us so brainwashed that they think that, they want us to think, I should say, that diabetes is a disease and we can't have any control over it at all. We're just going to have to take a drug. Well, where do you think all that blood sugar comes from? If you're eating sugar, and a lot of sugar, we're eating in 2 weeks. In 2 weeks, the amount of sugar that in the early 1900s they consumed in 1 year. The amount of sugar has increased dramatically in our diet. And we are approving of it by eating it all. Stop the sugar. Stop the carbohydrates that are primarily made from white flour, white rice, cereal grains. All of these are converted as starch. Potatoes, very bad. Potatoes, a baked potato is equivalent to eating a candy bar. And you say, well, I don't eat sugar, I don't eat candy bars. A potato is the same, even more of the same. So many people are going to be automatically diagnosed as type 2 diabetics unless you cut out sugar and drastically lower the intake of carbohydrates and increase your level of proteins and high fat. Our body needs fat for energy. Our brain needs fat for energy. It does better with fats and ketones than it does with sugar. So you'll reverse the diabetes. You'll become a non-prediabetic. And you won't lead into being a diabetic type 2. Now, prediabetes is reversible. In a recent study lasting over 20 years, researchers compared the outcome of people with prediabetes treated with lifestyle changes. That's where we come in charge. We take over. We make the changes. The drug metformin or a placebo. Results: people consuming fewer daily calories and exercising regularly significantly reduce the risk of processing to a type 2 diabetic versus the metformin or placebo group. And additionally, 10% more patients in the metformin group and the placebo group develop 3 or more chronic diseases versus the lifestyle change group. You're getting healthier by lowering the sugar. What do you want? What do you want to be? Healthier? I think you do. I think that's why you're listening to this program, to grab some information, to make a couple of choices that you didn't know you could make. So other studies have had similar findings. Diet and exercise changes can return blood sugar levels to normal and stop the progression to type 2 diabetes. I've had so many people tell me, oh, my doctor diagnosed me as a diabetic. Now I'm a diabetic. Well, what are you going to do about it? Well, I'm taking drugs for it. Why? You don't need to. It all comes from eating sugar. Stop the sugar. Stop the alcohol. Lower your intake of carbohydrates. Increase high-quality protein, high-quality fats, and exercise. You can make huge, huge strides in making changes. And if you need more help, you can take a supplement of an herb called Hintonia, Hintonia. Hintonia. Over 70 years of research proving it lowers blood sugar and A1C levels. It's found in a plant called Hintonia lactiflora, providing 20 milligrams of polyphenols. It lowers your blood sugar level and A1C to normal. Additionally, resveratrol, curcumin, and OPC together, all three together, from grapeseed extract, from aronia, and other polyphenols can reverse insulin resistance and lower blood sugar levels. You don't need to be a diabetic. If they say you're a diabetic, then say, I know exactly what to do. Terry told me that it was optional. I have to get rid of my sugar, get rid of my carbohydrates, and start watching my health, changing my diet, getting some exercise, just walking. 10 minutes of walking 2 or 3 times a day, or as much as you can possibly do it. You don't need a lot of exercise. You don't need to buy a gym. What am I trying to think of? You don't need to go down to a gym every day and work out. You don't need to take that time off. You just have to walk a little bit. You have to use the stairs instead of the elevator. Just do things that are productive for you. With that, my friends, I'm all out of time. I'm going to be hooked out of here. So say a prayer for this crazy, crazy world. God bless you, my friends, and God bless this great country.
Thank you for listening to Terry Talks Nutrition Weekly Show. Don't forget to subscribe and leave a review on your favorite podcast platform, including Apple, Google, and iHeartRadio.